brands. So correct, even if the algorithm in the worst case scenario was against you, what do you put, like, what are you doing yourself to put yourself out there to kind of combat that or like counter defeat that? And again, I think that a lot of people don't realize the potential and just the power behind commenting. Not only are you showing up on somebody else's brands, but it's something that we talked about where you're building real relationships through a digital screen. And it goes back to what you said. I think that nowadays with, again, everything has just become AI or just, super robotic, or people don't even know who's, behind the screen or who's human anymore. We need that real, authentic, conversations to be happening. I remember when you told me one time that you met somebody and you said that they didn't even think that you were a real page. Yep. Because you didn't, whatever their reason was, they didn't think that you were like even like a real human.
You're so polished. When you're that polished, it gets to the point where you just like, damn, is this so even? We're going to get to a point where we have conversations with accounts that are not even real. I mean, we kind of do it now, but it's going to get to a point where you won't even be able to tell the difference between a real human or a digital account that was just created.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't even tell nowadays. But again, one thing that I've learned when it comes to commenting is this is again like just another strategy when it comes to commenting. But don't just leave something generic on somebody else's page, like love this or great posts, because again, those are super generic. But if you really, really want to be authentic and if you want to build a conversation, comment something about the post. Like what intrigued you? What made you even comment? What did you think of it? Like comment your thoughts and your opinions. Because for example, I've done this on several posts where, sometimes I see something on social media and I comment and then 20 other people like that comment, or they're like, oh, I agree with her thoughts, or I agree with her values on this. And again, that's where you really get to know, like, what are people thinking behind the topic? And that's really getting more into the marketing psychology of, how are you even building rapport and how are you communicating with others? But
no, not only that. What happens is when you get people that like your comment or conversation that you create engagement for your own page too. And what happens is people piggyback off your comment and then they go look at your profile. And because that like-minded comment, you might get a follower from it, or you might get a customer from it, or you might get something from that because you never know who's watching who. So let's go back to comment and content. The biggest platform that I've seen that happened by building an audience is Twitter. People and LinkedIn. Twitter and LinkedIn is like one of the two top apps for just words only, right? And because it's words only, you can grow a quick audience on Twitter and LinkedIn by just starting conversations on posts that's not yours, right? And then what happens is, again, the interaction between you and whoever happens, somebody is 9 times out of 10, if you have a comment that somebody don't like, or if they do like, they're gonna go and look at you. And then that's how you build an audience.
Yeah, and again, it just goes back to, leaving comments that one, other people can relate to, or leaving a comment that somebody else might be able to relate to. And we'll talk about that throughout the call here in a little bit. But again, let's move on to like why following the right accounts is so important, because again, this is like a huge another factor that I had to learn again through years of experience in social media. But I hear all the time from clients or just different coaches of how they can't find their target audience, or they're following all these people, but they don't know how to convert them. And it's usually because they don't even know who their audience is. And that's why we said research is so important, because the number one thing that I always ask my coaches or my clients or my students is, who do you want to target? Don't just target the people. I think a lot of people always want to target the people like that have the big money, but what does that even mean? Get to their pain points. Why are they hurting? Because if they're really hurting, or if they really want to work with you, or if they really want that transformation, their money is never an objection. They're going to find the money some way, shape, or form. And so going back to find your target audience, when you're following these accounts, if you don't even know who your audience is, the best hack or the best tip I can give you, that I give a lot of my students, is go to your competitors and see who is following them. who is commenting on their pages, who is commenting on their posts, and then start to notice the patterns between those people. Are they in a certain job career? You know, do they have kids? What does their family look like? What does their lifestyle look like? When you start paying attention to those patterns, you are going to be able to notice, is that an audience that you even want to work with? And this is huge because it goes back to what are your values as a person? For example, if you're in business, the beauty of that business is that at the end of the day, you can decide